Before there was Eve the sinner, there was Aset, Isis, Ma'at, Inyanya, Asherah, and the Sibyls, women who were revered as divine, not damned as deceptive. The earliest civilizations of the world honored the great divine mother. She was the source of creation, the wisdom keeper, the healer, the prophetess. Women were oracles, high priestesses, and sacred leaders. But with the rise of patriarchy, the patriarchal systems, something shifted. The divine feminine wasn't just suppressed, it was deliberately demonized. The first attack on women wasn't about gender, it was about spiritual power. The priestesses of ancient Kemet, also known as Egypt, were silenced. The Sibyls, African prophetesses, revered for their wisdom, were erased. The Gnostic Gospels, which highlighted the spiritual role of women, were hidden. And in the Bible, Eve became the scapegoat, or the scapegoat, should I say, for the fall of man, rewriting the narrative to cast women as weak, deceptive, and dangerous. Beloved, they're pushing a narrative here. But think about this. Was Eve really the deceiver? Or was she the first liberator, the one who saw beyond the illusion and dared to awaken? Once the feminine was stripped from divinity, patriarchal rewrote the script. They removed the feminine face of God and replaced it with an exclusively male deity. They took the wisdom of the prophetesses and assigned it to male priests. They criminalized women's spiritual gifts, calling them witchcraft instead of divine insights. Let's be crystal clear on this. This wasn't about theology at all. It was about power. Because when you erase the divine feminine, you erase balance. And when you erase balance, you create control. This is why for centuries, spiritually gifted women were hunted, burned, and silenced. As I mentioned in the episode before, the Malleus Maleficarum, a 15th century guide to hunting and executing so-called witches, was literally a manual for eradicating female spiritual power. Here's the question we must ask. If women's spiritual power wasn't real, why were they afraid of it at all? As we fast forward to today, the witch hunts might be over, but the attack hasn't stopped. It just evolved. Today, if a woman moves in her spiritual authority, she's called and labeled too aggressive or too rebellious. She's called a Jezebel if she challenges religious control. Branded a heretic if she questions patriarchal theology. She's accused of witchcraft if she operates in her divine gifts of healing, prophecy, or energy work. And let's talk about how in modern Christianity, it still plays a role in this suppression. Women are told they can serve but not lead, or be over men, that is. They can prophesy but only under a man's covering. They can preach but not with full authority given to them by the Most High. They can teach the women. The spiritual war on women is still happening. The only difference is that today it's done through censorship, gaslighting, and systematic silencing. So what do? How do we break the cycle and reclaim the balance that was stolen from us? It starts with 3 key shifts. Number 1, decolonizing our minds. We must unlearn the belief that feminine power is dangerous, sinful, or secondary. We must rewrite the narrative that was used to enslave our minds. Number 2, restoring the sacred feminine. We must reclaim the wisdom of our ancestors, honor the role of the prophetess, and restore feminine leadership in our spiritual communities. And number 3, building matriarchal systems. This is about replacing oppressive structures with systems that uplift, nurture, and balance divine masculine and feminine energies. A matriarchal society about women ruling over men. This isn't what we're talking about. That's not what matriarchal society is about, women ruling over men. It's about balance, justice, and restoring the harmony that was deliberately disrupted. Don't allow the negative energy of patriarchy and the propaganda cloud your judgment and cause you to think that is what a matriarchal society is about. Women rule over men and men losing their masculinity. That's propaganda. That's false narrative that's being pushed to keep the suppression of women intact. This is why it is crucial that women step fully into their divine authority. It must happen and must happen now. No more shrinking, making yourself small to make someone's ego feel better. No more waiting for permission to do what you've been divinely called and created to do. The matriarch has returned, and it's time to step out and get in our rightful place. Family, this is the time for women to rise, reclaim, and restore. The spiritual war on women is real, but so is our power that we have been empowered with from the great divine mother, from the foundations of the universe. If this message resonates with you and your soul, I need you to do 3 things for me. I need you to share this message because the truth must be heard. I need you to drop a comment. Tell me how this is shifting your perspective. This series on the return of the matriarch and the divine feminine power. And I need you to join the movement because the work of recalibrating into a matriarchal society starts now. We are not waiting. We are reclaiming. The matriarch has returned. This has been another powerful and impactful episode of the Sankofa Sessions podcast with your host, Chief Apostle Veronica Israel. The podcast where we take you back into the records of our past to give you clarity and perspective on our collective bright future. Again, if this message resonated with you, do us a favor and engage with this episode, this video. Like, comment, share, repost, and let's continue the conversation. If you love the content in this podcast, do us a favor and support it. We are breaking the chains. We are reclaiming our power, and nothing will ever be the same again. Always remember, you are powerful. You are creative. You are the epitome of the divine consciousness that created the universe. You are God in flesh having a human experience. And never let anyone, any ideology or philosophy tell you otherwise. And until next time, stay free, and I love you all. Peace be with you.